Okay, so now we're going to look at some various techniques. So remember, anything we did to solve algebra equations, we can do to solve trig equations, okay? The only difference is in trig equations, we have to keep going. So once we get sine of x equals, or cosine of x equals, or tangent of x equals, or whatever the trig function of x equals, then we have to actually find what that angle is. But anything we use to solve algebraic equations, we can use to solve trig equations. So let's look at example 5 here. It says 4 sine squared of x minus 1 equals 0. So we want to get sine of x by itself, but first we need to get that sine squared. So I'm going to move the 1 over. And I'm going to divide by the 4. Now, we can't do anything with our unit circle with sine squared, but we know to get rid of a square, we can take the square root. And so we're going to get sine of x equals. Now remember, when you take the square root, you get plus or minus. And when you have a square root of the fraction, that's the same as the square root of the top over the square root of the bottom. And so we get plus or minus 1 over 2. And so we're looking for where sine of x is equal to positive and negative 1/2. Now remember, sine is positive in quadrants 1 and 2, and it's negative in quadrants 3 and 4. So because we have plus or minus, that means we're looking for 4 different answers. We're looking for an answer from quadrant 1, from quadrant 2, from quadrant 3, and from quadrant 4. Okay, so when we're looking for these angles, remember sine is your y value. So I want to know, where is my y value in that quadrant, a positive or a negative 1/2. So in quadrant 1, we said sine was positive. So where is y a positive 1/2? And hopefully you're saying at pi over 6. In quadrant 2, we said sine was positive. So where is the y value a positive 1/2? And that would be at 5 pi over 6. In quadrant 3, we said sine was negative. So where is my y value a negative 1/2? And that would be at 7 pi over 6. And in quadrant 4, we said sine was negative. So where is the y value a negative 1/2? And that's going to be at 11 pi over 6. And guys, it's no coincidence that they all have pi over 6, okay? They're from the same ordered pair, so they're in that same little triangle family, okay? When we made our unit circles, remember, we color-coded them. Everything that was with a pi over 6 or 30 degrees, we made in a certain color because they have the same reference angle. So they're from the same triangle, which means only difference in this is what quadrant it's in and whether that y value, that sine value, is positive or negative.